time for our weekly segment dedicated to the kids in your life. We have lots of those segments today. Every week, Karen Coltrane, the CEO and president of the Children's Museum of the Low Country, sits down with us to chat about the best things to do with the whole family. And this weekend, Second Saturday Science is back. We're excited about this.
I know. Well, the timing is perfect because we're gonna experience storms today.
Yes.
And we're going to learn about them on Saturday. So if your children are home from school because of storms and you want to kind of make a point of that and interject some science learning into all of this, you can talk about the storm today and then meet with Chris and learn from a real meteorologist this weekend.
Definitely. So if they have questions today, they're home from school, they're confused why, I say save those questions for meteorologist Chris Holtzman on Saturday at 11 at the Children's Museum. He'll be there to help with that. So Chris is back this month. He was there last month. How was everything last month?
He had a great time. You know, I told him, please don't make the weather gorgeous on Saturday because we don't ever have as many people when the weather's gorgeous. Although now that we have putt-putt outside, I think we'll start to see more people come on beautiful days. But at any rate, he had kids mesmerized. And my staff was like, we could see light bulbs going off. So speaking of light bulbs, we've got a version here that I think Chris plans to use as part of the lesson.
So this is going to be the prop for the Second Saturday Science. I feel like everybody used to do this. I think this is my first time ever using this toy thing. So we're, of course, I'm guessing we're going to be learning about lightning, which is fun. Kids are very visual learners, right? So this is a great way for them to visualize.
Well, and this is even for our kinetic learning friends who need to touch and feel. My husband accuses me of being one of those who have to touch everything in the store, but this is, I mean, you get that payoff, right, when you touch it and see it move to your magnetic power, right? So there you go.
So it's super easy to come out. It's included with museum admission, right?
All free with admission.
So just an hour, 11 to 12, come out and see Chris on Saturday. Of course, we have our meteorologists coming out all year round, so definitely make sure to mark your calendar for every second Saturday of the month. You can see Chris hanging out last month. Look how fun that is. They're so cute. I love that. It's just a fun thing to learn because kids are so curious about these things.
They are curious. And that, I was going to say this real quick. If you think you'd like to come up this Saturday, go online and buy your tickets in advance. We just started that, and you can save $2 a ticket by doing that. So
we love a bargain.
I want people, you know, you got a day today. Actually, we're open today for a closed school day, but we are also, you know, this Saturday would be a great time to come out and do this. But Chris is right on the money with what he's bringing to the museum and the whole station's support of this, because in my little parent tip today, I've been overwhelmed with the recent amount of research that's coming out that just confirms what we kind of suspected, but now they've confirmed 90% of brain development happens in the first 5 years of life. Wow. So every experience, every moment matters, not to put more pressure on parents of young children, right? But everything matters, and the more different things you expose children to, the more those synapses. We're born with 100 billion neuron cells in our brains. Wow. And what happens is we get in the world, we have this 100 billion cells sitting there, and the way that they develop into a functioning brain is experiences. And every experience builds synapses between these cells, and those are the foundation for all the learning and everything that happens afterwards. So creating joyful learning, someone who is a joyful learner wants to learn, just like those kids in that video. You could tell that they're curious, they want to know. Any experience like that that's happening is building towards a better functioning brain in adulthood. I say all the time, it's like building a house, that foundation. And what we're learning is that foundation really is about 90% set by the age of 5. So before they ever hit kindergarten, their brains have done the massive amount of developing. So even if it's not your child, I do this when I'm out like at restaurants and I see a child, I wave, I interact, because every little moment makes a difference for children.
I love that. My parents have always said that your brain isn't fully formed till you're, what, 26? Is that
Well,
still
that's
a
the
thing?
prefrontal cortex.
Okay, so that's
Yes.
still a thing.
Yes, that is definitely still a thing. And that's the part of our brain that makes decisions.
Okay.
And that can't come fully online if all the other parts haven't
Okay.
built underneath it. So yes, and especially usually your brothers are a little later than your sisters on the prefrontal cortex development, which those of us that raise adult children know that instinctively.
Yeah.
But yes, it's, I mean, that used to be that when you rented a car, your rates were higher for young men until the age of 25 if they could even run them at all. And that was because of behaviors that prefrontal cortex brings in judgment. And they call it executive function. The ability to kind of make rational risk decisions. So driving down the interstate at 100 miles an hour is not a rational risk decision that an adult understands, but to a younger teenager, kind of, you know, it seems like the reward's worth the risk. That all evolves in the early 20s, but the massive amount of brain development is before the age of 5, and that's just not something we know, but it's really picking up steam. My former home state, Virginia, just started 90 to 5, and it's about 90% of the brain being developed at 5. I've read stuff Florida's doing. We've got First Steps, which is a great organization in South Carolina. So
awesome. Well, Karen, thank you so much as always for being here.
You're welcome. I can't wait to play with
Don't
this.
forget to head out on Saturday, guys. See ya.
Yeah. See you then.